She was the featured guest today at She Shares. That's a series of events in Sacramento that featured trailblazing women. Napolitano has certainly made history repeatedly. The first woman Attorney General of Arizona, also elected governor. She was the first woman to serve as Secretary of Homeland Security. And today she's the first woman to hold the job of UC president in the 146-year history of the university system. These events are produced by the Dewey Square Group, and KCRA is a proud media sponsor. Before the lunch, I had a chance to ask Napolitano a wide range of questions in an exclusive interview. And of course, we know the biggest question for students and families is about tuition and fees. It was an explosive issue during the recent state budget negotiations. There were protests up and down the state as Napolitano got approval from the UC Regents to raise tuition if Governor Brown didn't add what they felt was enough money in the budget for the UC system. That gave her a strong negotiating position, and she and the governor formed what was called the Committee of Two. They hammered out a deal, and ultimately she got the money, and fees are now frozen. I asked her about that unusual process with the governor and when students can expect tuition will go up.
The process was designed to have greater exchange of information. I actually hope that we're able to revisit and provide the governor with kind of status update on where things are, because we agreed to do and wanted to do a lot of things with respect to the education of California's undergraduates. So, but there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of new information exchanged. You know, the University of California is a big system, and so getting information that's relevant in the right way to decision makers like the governor were very important to us.
At some point, tuition will go up. What's your best guess as to when?
Well, it'll be frozen for the next several years. That's part of our agreement with the governor. In exchange, he is going to increase our base budget by 4% every year. And then after 2 years more of in-state tuition freeze, it will go up, but it will be pegged generally to the rate of inflation. However, let me make a point about this, and that is very few students pay the sticker price of tuition, room and board at the University of California because there's so much financial aid that's made available.
Of course, tuition and student fees are among the most inflammatory and emotional issues a UC president faces, and every person in that job in recent history has been criticized for the high salary. So I asked her about making $570,000 a year at a time that tuition hikes were being considered, and the criticism she often hears that she earns about 50% more than the President of the United States for a public job.
People are paid more than the President of the United States. I mean, that's just lots of people in California who are public employees get paid more than the governor. That's just not the right calculus. You know, everything is a market. College presidents around the country, there's a market. Our market is generally what are called the AAU universities, the top 64 universities. We're proud of that. We want to be in the top universities. Californians are proud of that. Our chancellors are amongst the lowest paid. However, I understand the real issue here. It's not that in a way. I think the issue is, are we administering the university in as cost-effective a way as we can? Are we doing everything we can to keep costs down while maintaining quality? And I'm very committed to that effort. So we want to look at things, not just tuition, but housing, room and board, you know, those kinds of things, you know, for an in-state student cost as much as the tuition does.
Napolitano is most famous for her role as Secretary of Homeland Security. For those 4 years, she lived with the daily fear that our country would be attacked. I asked her whether that fear has faded now that's no longer her responsibility.
It does. I have other things that wake me up at night now, but you know, the Secretary of Homeland Security is a very broad-ranging job. When the department was created in the wake of the attack of 9/11, the Congress put 23 separate agencies into it and gave all those responsibilities to the secretary. It is a job where you can get that call at 3 a.m. in the morning, no doubt.
How is it to transition out of something like that?
Well, I think what happens is your definition of what's a crisis goes up, right? It gives you the ability to take a deep breath and say, all right, what's the problem? What do we have to solve for? How much time do we have? Who needs to be consulted? And to get things marching in that direction as opposed to hitting the panic button. You really get a sense of how to what I would call rack and stack things in the right way.
You mentioned that other things keep you up at night now. What specifically?
Well, I think the University of California is a treasure. So what keeps me up at night is how do we continue that? How do we make sure that we're really preparing students for the world that they're going to enter into? How do we keep the research moving? How do we focus on problems that are of concern in California and indeed to the world, like issues of water and energy and sustainability, health? Those are the kinds of things I think about when I can't rest at night.
And you can watch much more of my interview with Napolitano on the KCRA mobile app, including how being a woman has influenced her priorities in some of her leadership roles.